Hey there!
Guten Tag.
Welcome to your local comic show. My name is Danica.
My name is Brandon, and this is Max. Say
Aw.
hi, Max.
Hi,
He knows.
Max.
He knows we're recording.
Oh!
No! Don't touch the computer, dude.
No! Help me! Oh, look at those little beans.
Okay.
Yeah, he's not going to be happy no matter what we do.
Hi.
Hi!
All right. So yeah, on this week's show, we're going to talk about how things went for our first month of 2021. It was everyone's first month of 2021, actually. So
you can also tell us how your first month of 2021 went as well.
Absolutely, and please do, because we would like to know. And yeah, along the way, we're going to be giving you updates on new comics and graphic novels, and petting this cat because Joy seems to be fine right now.
Yeah.
Off and about. Eric, hi. How are you doing? And yeah, let's start going on them comics.
Okay, cool. All right. So, did you want me just to go from the top down? Do you have these in any order?
I do not even slightly.
Okay. Excuse me. Well, we'll start with the issue ones and the one shots. I'm pretty sure that's what we have. So first up, we have from Scout Comics, we have Stake, and it is about a vampire hunter who lost her friends to vampires, and now she is getting some revenge, but she's doing it the 2021 way, where she's posting everything online.
The nice influencer way.
Yeah.
Also, you might have noticed when we do this, the camera now focuses on the comic instead of making it all blurry, and makes us blurry in the background, so you, fine folks, can see what we're actually talking about.
Yeah.
Check it out. Doing cool things. Neil also, hello.
Hello.
Andrew.
Hi, Simone.
Yes, something did go wrong with our Twitch early on. Our multi-streamer was like, yo, I don't know if this is working. Maybe stop it and restart it. And so we did that.
Yeah.
But it looks like it is working because, as Danica said, Simone is there, ready to stomp a mud hole into any ding-dongs that show up.
Yeah. Awesome. Next up, we have Riverdale Presents the Southside Serpents. It is a one-shot about the Southside Serpents.
Yeah, oh boy, there's some things that happen in here. I'm not caught up on Riverdale, but this feels like it really sets things off in that universe. But they've always kind of done that with the Riverdale comics. They're all done by people who tend to write for the show, and when they don't write for the show, they're given kind of plot that enhances current storylines. So
exactly. So I saw on Netflix the other day that there will be new episodes of Riverdale popping up soon. So
they're happening right now.
What?
So prom is happening.
Oh.
So that's gonna go fine.
Okay.
Because that show's not weird bonkers at all. And then apparently after they wrap up last season's storylines because COVID production issues, they're doing a time jump. So everyone's gonna be roughly their actual age.
Oh my gosh. Except for the guy who plays Archie, because he's a
legitimate child.
Yeah.
Cassandra, hey.
Yes.
Fun story about that. We already made that happen. So yeah, we got that going for you. Because we know your kiddo would be very upset if one of those wasn't in there. So.
All right. Next up, let's see, we have a second print of #1 of Star Wars High Republic. So if y'all missed out the first time, and we we had a ton of shelf copies, which we don't really do anymore. But this was a #1 Star Wars, so we went big. We sold out that day. So you might have missed it, and that's okay because we could not have planned for that. Wow. So
we tried to plan for that.
Well, yeah, that was us planning for it. Yeah. You're right. We did order that many. So if you did miss it, fear not. We have copies of this, the second print, with a fancy new cover. Everybody's all like, "Yeah, lightsabers!"
Zoom, 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 zoom. That's how it goes.
Exactly. You can hear the cover in your heart.
And Drusif, you're saying that you didn't get the second printings. Text us.
Yeah.
And in terms of Riverdale, they overwrite that show. I knew a guy who worked on an episode, and the director's cut was 57 minutes long. Yeah. They had to cut entire storylines to get down to 44 or whatever it is. I want these mythical director cut episodes of Riverdale because
that's a lot.
That's a bonker show to start out with.
Yeah.
Let me get on that monster. Wow.
All right. Do you want to talk about this one?
Very excited. The Batman Black and White series has been incredible, both back in the day when they first were doing some black and white stuffs, and currently the lineup on this is phenomenal. For those of you who are big Tom King and Mitch Gerads fans, they got a story in here. Sophie Campbell's got a story in here. David Aja has a story in here, and Karina Bechko and Gail Hardman have a story in here. That's a solid batch of creatives. Oh, and Dustin Weaver, who did the art for Jonathan Hickman's Shield run.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and some pinups by Ramon Villalobos and Stephen Sejic.
Yeah.
That is wall-to-wall amazing creators. And they're going to continue that run. In the future, Jamie McKelvey and Kieran Gillen are doing one together.
What?
Yeah. They're doing a Batman.
They're doing a Batman?
And Chip Zdarsky's doing one as well.
I expect this.
Chip Zardogs, yeah.
He's already been writing Batman. He just has little horns.
Yeah. Fraction talked about how on his business cards he wants a Batman artist because in their story that they did for Detective Comics, the drawing that looks like a kid did it, he did it.
Oh.
So he wants his cards to say Batman artist. Technically true. Artist of Batman. Matt Fraction.
All right. Next up. So this is Firefly issue 25. But Brandon, you said this was a new storyline, a new arc?
Yeah. So up until now in the Firefly series, it's all been concerned with sort of like pre TV show, pre movie stuff, things that happened before. This issue 25 jumps to after the movie, and in fact after some of the Dark Horse stuff. So some of you may or may not know, Zoe has a kid.
Yes.
Yeah. And that kind of comes into play here, as well as a future story that actually takes place like 20 years in the future. That's going to be really cool. That's starting up soon.
Yeah.
So folks who want to know what happens after the movies, this is still all kind of executive produced and canon because it ain't happening anywhere else. So if you want to know what happened next in the Firefly universe, Zappo Wappo.
Yeah. And they did these really cool blank covers where you have the sand and the stars. And I thought that was a really beautiful idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do like the more creative blank covers these days.
Yeah, I'm really digging like what DC is doing with their blanks because they're like more in the color of the character or the feeling, or there's like a slight pattern.
Yeah.
Like this one actually fades up to stars, which is beautiful. So you can get ready for convention season whenever that happens again.
And yeah, Andrew saying, I just saw the new series with Zoe and Wash's kid as captain in initial orders this morning. Heck yeah. Good reminder. Initial orders are due this week. If you guys have some comics that you want from not the stuff that just went up on Manage, but the previous stuff, definitely get those in. You do have until final order cutoff on a lot of them, but if they're in the back part of the previous catalog, about 50-50 chance that they're not on final order cutoff. So let us know, and we will get that happening. Okay, so we're gonna talk a little bit about the future state stuff, but I wanted to show you what an entire month's worth of a universe looks like. Seems like a lot. It is a lot. And one of the things I wanted to illustrate is this is why comics can seem overwhelming.
Yes.
It says to know about the DC universe, this is what you're going to need to be aware of. Now, one of the beautiful things that DC actually did with this entire line is you can read any individual comic in this and be perfectly satisfied with the stories that are happening there. Mm-hmm. There might be slight references to other things happening, but really it's its own section of the world, and the story actually is more self-contained. I love this kind of world building. Mm-hmm. I hope that they really continue going forward with it.
Absolutely. It's like if you have the whole thing, you have like this really cool patchwork quilt, which is beautiful in its entirety. But if you only have a patchwork pillow, you're still happy.
Yeah, exactly. Mm. A place to rest your head.
Yeah.
And dream the night away. Go full Teddy Ruxpin and come dream with me tonight.
Aw, I like that.
We'll go to far off places and search for treasures bright.
That's what comics are. It's kind of fun, actually.
I could sing that whole song. I'm discovering this right now, and it's going in my head.
Whoop! There's a Max. Hello. Oh, Max does not like being held, but he'll put up with it if I'm right in his face, because he's like, well, you're here, so I guess it's okay, baby. We're sorry. He's like,
Bloop.
Are you, though?
Andrew does bring up the biggest thing. It was like, oh yeah, Metropolis is in a bottle. Yeah. I also like the way that they bring it up, though, which is like, yeah, Metropolis is in a bottle. Wow, and then they just move along.
Yeah, there really is. The things you need to know are also an elevator pitch in that they are short.
Yeah.
And so if you are like wondering, you're reading Gotham stories and you're like, oh, I wonder what's going on in Metropolis, it will allude to it, but you don't feel like you're like, what? I'm missing out completely.
And other Gotham stuff will kind of like play off of other things.
Exactly.
One of the things I especially like about the Gotham stuff is they seem to have a fairly unified color palette. I know Tamara Bonvillain and Jordi Belair are working on the majority of those books, and they all have the same feel and glow to them. That's, again, really good storytelling that, like, they don't have to do, but it's great that they do it. We should probably talk about a little bit these.
Yeah, all the stuff that's coming out this week.
You want to talk about that one?
I do.
I'll give you these ones to talk about.
Okay. Excuse me. Oh, yeah.
I'm being selfish. This one's mine.
Yeah, no, I was going to give that to you anyway. Okay, so... Sorry, I gotta just like, ooh, pretty.
Because it's been a couple weeks since you read this.
I know. Admittedly, I read the preview PDF, so I didn't have to read them tonight.
I remember you stopped and were just like, Aquaman was really good. And it's about Aquaman.
No joke. Aquaman is a hard sell for me. I will give it a chance, but generally Aquaman is a hard sell. Mm-hmm. This is a very good Aquaman. So it's Thomas. That could be anybody.
It could be anybody.
I need your name. So it's written by Brandon Thomas.
Well, that's my name.
Half of it. Artist is Daniel Sapere. Colorist is Adriano Lucas. And one of my favorite letters, Clayton Cowell, because he does a lot of lettering in the business. So I see his name a lot, and I like him. I think he's a good person.
Yeah.
All right. So it is a different Aquaman.
Yeah, it follows Black Man's kid.
Yes.
Jackson
Hyde. Mm-hmm. So he is the future Aquaman.
Ooh.
Very cool. And it's also got this little Mara kid.
Yeah, Mara's kid.
Mara's kid. I don't remember her name at all, but I think they're kind of dating. And then something bad happens.
There's definitely at least a familial relationship there.
Yeah.
There's a connection there. One of the things that I like about it is there's your kind of typical darker motivating things that happen, but they kind of pull what I'm calling a reverse fridging, where you kind of take the trope and say, what if actually the inspiration comes from hope and not harm? And that's all I'll say, because the rest of it kind of ruins the story, but I really enjoyed that aspect of it.
Yeah, I would absolutely get you to check this out. If for nothing else, then look at these colors. Like, there's more of this inside. It's beautiful. I always love kind of candy for the eyes.
Candy.
Yeah, like I enjoy colors. I enjoy just kind of absorbing, and I really want to show you this double page spread, but that will also ruin something. So just watch out for that.
We've got Batman Superman by Gene Luen Yang and Ben Oliver. This is actually the first issue that Yang is taking on. He's actually the ongoing writer of Batman Superman, and the idea behind that Batman Superman series is to travel the multiverse and see different versions of Batman and Superman. So you're going to get a wide range of stories. Think like Marvel's Exiles, when they're visiting different X-Men realities and kind of tweaking things and telling you things. But being obviously traveling the multiverse, opening up to an infinite amount of story possibilities. So that's what I'm very excited about, especially from a writer like
Yang.
Like Yang.
He's so talented. Writer
of Superman Smashes the Klan, which, hey, is also kind of like an alt-reality tale of sorts. But he's a good dude who can tell you about modern fears through superhero punchy punches.
I love it. I love it. All right, back to one of my favorites from Future State, Tamaki and Mora's Dark Detective. So we learn more about what happened to Bruce and why people think he is dead, or rather Batman. And coincidentally, Bruce Wayne, for no reason at all. Wink.
Bruce. I think I've got these last three.
Oh, no worries. I just got to mention the backs. The back half, not even half, but is a Red Hood story, which is pretty rad, because I don't generally read Red Hood as well. So it's kind of opening me up to, here it is. It's kind of opening me up to more characters that I wouldn't usually read, and I'm hoping that other people kind of try it out just to see, like, well, I'm going to read a Batman story anyway, and I don't usually read, like, Red Hood or The Grifter or Gotham City Sirens, which was so cool.
Yeah.
I love that you kind of can get a chance. You get a bonus with your comic. You get what you expect, and you get a little bit extra.
Right. We were listening to
Off Panel.
Yeah.
With David Harper. Harper. He was talking with Susanna Polo of Polygon and Mary Sue Pryor. And she was talking about, she had a really good analogy where you get what you expected in the entree, you buy it for Dark Detective, but then you get dessert.
Yeah, and it's a tasty snack.
Exactly, and you don't always get a dessert with a comic.
So yeah, you get to experience more of a universe. Very cool. Speaking of a snack and a dessert, it's Suicide Squad.
Oh man, that would have been amazing if there was a Nightwing comic this week. Speaking of a snack.
And boy, that boy is the whole meal, my friends.
Okay, yeah.
We've got Robbie Thompson, Javier Fernandez, Alex Sinclair, and Wes Abbott. This is taking what will be the Suicide Squad team that's coming up and extrapolating them to the future. It's dark stuff, but it's the Suicide Squad, of course. And you kind of go through that, and you get a Black Adam story to end off with. Yeah, it's some good stuff that's happening here. And, oh boy, that JLA watchtower is pretty freaking big.
Oh, hi. Hey,
Um,
sweetheart.
Yeah, there's some interesting stuff happening here. I've forgotten about a couple of these things because like it's been a little while since we read them too. All right, Legion of Superheroes is essentially continuing with Bendis as the writer, with Riley Rossmo doing the good arts.
Mm-hmm.
Really excited for Riley to get a big stage there, which is really cool. And if you've been enjoying the Legion so far, you get more of that. If you haven't been enjoying the Legion so far but want a taste of the future, a bazow, you got it. And the book that I've been waiting for this whole time,
Mm-hmm.
the Superman Imperious Lex, written by Mark Russell and art by Steve Pugh.
Okay.
I love everything that Mark Russell does. I collect everything that Mark Russell does. This one he actually didn't pitch. It was pitched to him. He was asked to be a part of the Future State line, and they had an open book, and this was the book. It's basically about Duders.
Okay. It's good.
It's basically about how Lex goes to this planet and finds these people who are just like, oh, we could use like all of your technology and doodads and gigas and whatnot.
Yes.
And when he does that, he's like having a good time. Is actually being very helpful. And then Superman shows up again. And then it really gets into the Mark Russell of it all, which is like a despot who runs a world, and the ways that he would use to kind of like maintain his image and use propaganda against some other being that has come around.
All right, 1 sec. And yes, Brandon did collect Red Sonja because Mark Russell is writing it or was writing it. I don't remember. I don't think it's over quite yet.
Not yet. Issue 24 is going to be the last one.
Yes.
In addition
for many
to
reasons.
A few one-shots. Yeah. It was his last contracted book. He came out very...
Mm-hmm.
He didn't come out right away because he had stated that he always likes to think about and converse, and especially when he's in a position to say something. He weighed some things out. Basically, he is a person who's doing well enough to be able to pick and choose what he can do, and has the power to say what he wants to say without much coming back at him. Smaller creators might not have that luxury. So Mark came out when all the Dynamite stuff was going down, when they were working actively with Confiscator to do some content. Actually, I've done that with a few. And it was a discussion with myself as well. Do I keep getting this? I liked the thoughtfulness of Mark Russell, saying that he would work out his contract as stated, but would not continue to work with the company due to the harms, and hoped that what he was doing with the book could also continue to convey his message on various bits of colonialism, and how that may or may not relate to today, because Mark Russell is that bitch, and I love him for it.
Oh.
Yeah. So
Yes.
That's good. What are we doing here? I hear a running theme. Beef last week, candy and desserts this week. You guys are making me hungry. Yeah. Hungry for Nightwing. The variant edition story. And Andrew also says the anthology, anti-anthology point of view is like the difference between people who shop by looking at everything in the store and those who go into the store, find what they want and leave. But very true.
Yeah.
I always look at it as now a person who only gets Batman, who would only come in for Batman, now gets a taste of a broader spectrum of storytelling, even if it is Gotham based. And a big part of our store has always been introducing people to different corners of stories and storytelling that they might not have knew they wanted.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it's a positive that DC is doing this.
Mm-hmm. It's gonna make a couple of people cranky, but
it already has.
And
none of them are us.
And I was gonna say 9 out of 10 of those people who were cranky were also probably saying that they don't read Batman anymore because it sucked forever.
Sure. Why not? It's not like Batman changes all the time.
I find a lot of people who end up complaining about like, oh, I don't want this extra bit, are very much in line with the same line of people who are just like, yeah, I don't know, it hasn't been good for a long time, but I have every issue of Batman.
Now on to graphic novels.
Yeah, baby.
All right, this is kind of in the middle of a graphic novel and a single issue because it's a big. All right, I tried to flip through this. I haven't done a deep dive, but Myth Ruffians,
the
penultimate subterfuge, and all I got, like, it's from Silver Sprocket, so all I got was that it was about a band or someone joining a band.
It's pretty wild stuff. Think sort of blacklight posters by way of current independent comics and like deep independent comics. Mm-hmm. The kinds that look at fonts and go, we need to choose this font specifically. That kind of detail. And paper stock.
Yes, it's nice.
Mm-hmm. So there's some very deliberate storytelling here. If you like your pinks, your blues, and your purples, those are the 3 colors that you're really getting here in more of a neon spectrum. I have not read it yet, but yeah, it is a bonkers. Brandy says that she's undecided on it. Wanted to like it, not sure. We're going to find out later today.
Yeah, I just had time to read a few things before the show, so I'm going to dig into a lot of these deeper after, but I wanted to get a general sense of some things, and I wanted so badly to read Department of Truth number 5, so that's my first read after this, where I can sit down and read.
But we're being good. Oh, speaking of...
Even though it's right there, sitting right in front of me.
Speaking of Department of Truth.
Hey, there we go. You got a little fuzz on your beard. Sorry to shame you on the feed, but I know, saving it for later. Yeah, geez. Department of Truth is super great. Why are we mentioning an issue 5, Brandon?
Well, that will be the final issue collected in the first Department of Truth graphic novel that will be coming out, a collected edition for folks who might not like the term graphic novel for collected editions. I think it's fine. Mm. We have commissioned our own cover for it with Dylan Todd,
friend of the store, Dylan Todd,
designer of
Department
this logo as well.
Yeah,
Dylan Todd.
Yeah.
And working with a bunch of fine stores all across the world, including Brandy's store.
Yes.
Distant Planet, which is mega awesome.
Yes, and when it is safe to travel in the States one day, I would love to visit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, it'll have a different cover than everyone else is going to get. Mm. And we planned for it to say Bastard Title Edition on there as with Dracula Motherfucker.
Yes.
But we believe it has been decided by Image that they don't necessarily want that kind of thing on their cover, on the covers of their stuffs. So our logo is actually on there, which is really cool to see our logo on a book.
Yeah, it's so rad, and it's very specific. Yeah. Oh, he's not happy. Oh, sorry, I have something in my eye. One sec.
Bum, 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 bum,
no, you don't have to vamp. I'll be back.
Okay.
No, my eye hurts. Just one sec.
All right. So yeah, we're very excited about that stuff. And you missed which book that we're talking about? Oh yeah, Department of Truth, the first collected edition. We're gonna have ourselves an exclusive cover and our store's logo on the back cover, which is gonna be mega cool. Why? Because we're mega cool and stuff like that. I think it's probably one of the best comics out on the stands today, especially how it talks about how conspiracies can gain traction in reality, but with enough belief, and how scary that is, and how applicable that is in terms of how people have been approaching reality these days, and kind of picking and choosing what they believe and forming their own realities for that. It says, put me down for one. I'm going to write that out. Ba-da-dum. And in the meantime, actually, I'm going to talk about this one. So this is my stuffs, the things that I like. The Nib is an amazing website for editorial cartoons and cartoonists. They also do roughly a quarterly magazine where they kind of collect different cartoons on a specific theme. This one is Pandemic, where they really dig into aspects of the pandemic and people's experiences with it. Some interviews and various things from around the world, really. Phenomenal work. I highly recommend you check out the Nib. If you don't know, you probably don't even realize that if you haven't really heard of them before, you might not realize that you know the Nib. Matt Bors, who runs it, is the dude who did the cartoon of The Dude in the Well, who's basically like, and yet you partake in society. Interesting choice. Cartoon that was floating around there for quite some time. So yeah, there's that, which is cool. Simone, we will get you one of those covers as well. It's very exciting. And bonus, we're not charging extra for them because we don't got to. Another book that I'm excited to read, haven't read yet, Freak Show. Kralix, a young cult survivor, starts hearing the voice of the god responsible for the death of everyone he knows, the self-proclaimed god of guns. Says that he is the prophet of the frozen lands. Like any human, Kralix is hypnotized by the possibility of this power and listens to the voice. This path to salvation is paved with love, turmoil, and mostly death. Seems like a thing relevant to today's times. I'm looking forward to reading it, especially so that I can kind of get the tone that they're going for and seeing where that goes and go from there. You know what? I think it is Freak Snow, Andrew. I should remember that because I actually did the incoming posts earlier this week, and it is, in fact, Freak Snow. So, yep, whoops.
Anyway, hi, I'm back.
She's back.
My eye's still bugging me, but I'm ignoring it. That seems healthy. That seems healthy. I don't know. It's just like, you know, when you get an eyelash, it's usually just a little thing and you pick out the eyelash. No, this is like something more. Something is in my eye. So you heard it here first, folks. This is how I die.
She died the way she lived, trying desperately to get something out of her eye.
This is why I stopped wearing eye makeup in like high school. I couldn't have stuff in my eye. Good. No.
I will feel really bad if it's like a scratched cornea or something.
Oh man.
Because it feels similar.
If it just happened, then yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I'm tearing the heck up. So fun times. All right. People who know me know I love Maria Lovett. She is great. I love her art. I love the kind of like sketchiness of it. I love the way she draws bodies. I think she's rad. And so this is a soft cover version. Thank you, Andrew. This is a soft cover version of her book, which came out, last year? 2 years,
Yeah.
5 years ago, because 2020 was like a decade. Loud. And I will read it to you because loud is not always that descriptive.
In the immortal words of Jennifer Lopez.
Let's get loud. Yeah, and actually the only Jennifer, I think they added the inauguration moment into like that song's Wikipedia, which was amazing.
They were talking about it a lot on a podcast I listened to called The Daily Zeitgeist, because they were just like, think about what a baller move that is. Just be like, I'm gonna sneak this in to the inauguration of the president.
It's my song.
It's the thing that I do.
It's my time now. I mean, she's Jennifer Lopez. She could do that.
Mm-hmm.
The Loud nightclub. A latecomer stripper, a pissed waitress, a hitman couple, a suspension bondage performer, a pregnant teenager, a clan of vampires, a pedophile, a lesbian junkie, a divorcing middle-aged woman, a sadistic dominatrix, and many other souls in search of love, drugs, and blood converge at the hottest club in town on a night that none will ever forget if they survive. It's the greatest. And yes, things are loud, visually loud, and you could hear the club like in your head. It's great.
Yeah, it gave me anxiety in a good way, because like a place like that, a room filled with people like that would just like, I'd be like, oh, cool. This is the funnest I've ever had in my life.
I
be like
love this. Yeah, like how we are.
Shoulders.
Post-pandemic, this is us at a bar like, yay, we miss this. Sip. Next up, we've got No Heroin, which is about drugs, vampires, and punk rock, which is kind of all you need to know. But I will also read the back. Sorry. Clawing her way to her 90th day sober, Kayla sets out to find her missing friend, the one person who knows she can keep her on the straight and narrow. The only problem, a gang of heroin-dealing vampires that have him. That's just the start. So, yay!
Andrew says, sounds like a good double feature for Loud.
Yeah,
You're not wrong
true.
about that.
That's very true.
And he says, there's so much love it in the initial orders. Also true. I love this mix of what's been happening.
Mm-hmm.
Where they're like, okay, Maria Lovett's like, okay, I'm gonna do my next project. But since all of y'all were squares and didn't get any of my stuff when I was just like working more exclusively in Europe, we're gonna reprint some stuff as well, and you're gonna love it too. You're gonna love it too.
I am. As soon as that was announced, I subscribed because that's what I do. Because I'm trying to limit my single issues, and she's not helping.
I have been doing the opposite.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm actually personally collecting Future State. Part of it is, I may or may not have talked about it on the show specifically. Part of it is because I'm putting money where my mouth is. I love the idea of more of an anthology format. I love how they built this world, and I love what they're doing out of it starting in March. And yeah, so I get excited when I see people doing interesting things in interesting ways, playing with the format, and quite frankly, trying to solve the problem of matching bang for your buck for and a format that doesn't actually make people money. Yeah, the $3.99 format, you can go up and down the entire industry, talking with publishers, talking with stores, talking with distributors, especially distributors. There's no money in the $3.99 comic. There's money in moving a volume of $3.99 comic. But as everyone knows, the sales of single issues have continuously gone down forever. So
yep,
we're getting to a tipping point. DC is one of the only companies trying to figure out how to work with that, to work into the future while trying to work with the format instead of against it. I think that's really cool. So I'm giving them my money.
Darn right. And you know what is going up is the sale of graphic novels.
Yay!
Buggy Books. All right. I would like you to talk about Black Magic.
Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. This third volume has been a long time coming. I think 2 years?
Yep.
Possibly. It's a wonderful Greg Rucka and Nicholas Scott book that involves crime and witchery. And not like high fantasy witchery. Extremely well researched Wicca witchery.
Yep, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
It is very authentic. It's taken very seriously. It is, of course, a part of their daily life, the character's daily life. And I think it's beautiful. I actually, not remembering that volume 3 was coming out soon, read the first chunk of the series this weekend. So ironically, I am right where I need to be. And I'm very excited to read the next, I think it's like issues 12 to 16.
It's even got a pull quote from Alex Jones on the back. Different Alex Jones.
Oh my God. That must be why he went with like Alexander Jones. From, they spelled Multiversity wrong.
I was going to see if I could do a Alex Jones yell and read out the quote, but I don't know if I can.
No, I think you just have to yell about QAnon a lot and how they're stupid. That's the only time
he's saying they're stupid now.
That's the only time I've seen him talk in like years, because I do not seek him out.
The only way to experience Alex Jones is listening to a podcast called Knowledge Fight, where two dudes talk about whatever bonkersness he's up to, and also in kind of like alternating episodes talk about previous Weird Talk Radio that led to Alex Jones.
That's true. We were listening to the rise of fascism in the States on Behind the Bastards, an episode from a couple years back. But they mentioned a guy that had like a radio show. He had millions of followers, and he was the Alex Jones of his day, basically.
Yeah, good times.
Anyway, so if you like magic, if you like cut procedurals, if you like feisty lady characters, if you like black cats, you may have seen me wearing my Black Magic t-shirt, because I have a cat. The cat's name is Hawthorne. I love him. Definitely check out Black Magic. It's great. And if you do see it or want to order something from us, Greg Rucka also does prose novels, and they're very good and very fun. So check in with us, because we do have access to more things these days.
Prose.
Yeah, and we can get you some novels as well as graphic novels. We will just encompass your novel needs.
Ding. All right, one last one to talk about.
Oops. Did you want to do the last one?
No.
Okay. Wow.
Mostly because you've read more of it than I have.
That is true. This one was also a long time coming. I did read the single issues when it came out, so I think it's been at least a year, if not more. Yeah,
a lot of Black Mask stuff has been either super uber late or no, that's actually it. It's been super uber late.
So this is part of their Black superhero world. So these are kind of spin-offs called Black AF. And this one's called Devil's Die. So in this world, only Black folks have superpowers. And what happens when people of color have superpowers? And the reaction is different because systemic racism. So this one is called Devil's Die, and it's about when a new drug called Vanta hits the streets. Word is it's the hottest thing since ecstasy. For regular people, it has all the highs and none of the lows of traditional drugs. There's some fine print, though. However, for empowered Black folks, the drug causes a total and violent loss of control. The project sends Indigo to investigate, a character from earlier, and it soon becomes apparent that this is more than just a new designer distraction for the masses. Indigo, together with former detective Ellen Waters, race to find the source of the substance poisoning their people because it's too late. So it's a fascinating world. It really is. I mean, obviously very horrifying, but it's very true to its word because we live in such a world where if a white person had superpowers, they would be put on a pedestal. But if a black person has superpowers, especially in this America, they would be vilified.
And if only black people had superpowers, basically.
Exactly. So I think it's brilliant. I think it's also horrifying. And I think that we should, it should be involved in many, many discussions of politics and comics and color and America and Canada. So, yeah.
America!
Yeah, so if you want to get the first book, it's simply called Black. And then there's a couple Black AF kind of spin-offs. So check in with us about that.
Awesome. So to round things off on this week's show, we're talking about how the beginning of our 2021 went. If any of y'all want to share a bit of how the beginning of your 2021 went, we would love to hear it. Whether that is on the show in comments or just in person. We'd actually like to know how you are all doing, because that is important to us. You folks are important to us, and we kind of like to share a lot of things. Andrew.
No, Andrew just put all caps, not well.
Kicks off in very Andrew style.
Yes.
My dude.
It's gonna be okay, buddy. It's gonna be okay.
You, of course, you know, if you ever do need anything, if it's either emotional or for any other stuff, just let us know. Yeah. Boot to do do. Oh yeah. So let's update the fine folks on how our back issue stuff's been going. We announced that we are getting rid of thems.
Yes, so we're phasing them out, in case you haven't heard. And since Boxing Day, all our short boxes of back issues have been mystery boxes. And that has gone over like gangbusters.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten a chance to refresh and refill the empty shells, but a fair amount of them are gone.
Yeah. You fill in a small chunk of them already.
I tried.
Yeah.
But I can't keep up with people buying them, which is exactly what we want. If you are still interested, you have not missed out. We are going to continue selling them until all of them are gone, or some benefactor comes in, swoops in with a bag with a $sign on and says, I want to buy all of your back issues. And then we go, okay, sure, whatever, man. Those are, yeah, exactly. Even if he has a mustache, I'm probably just going to sell off all our back issues.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be super suspicious.
Yeah.
Because, like, if a dude is walking in with a giant sack with a $sign written on it, just be like, hello, proprietors, I'm here to purchase your comic books. I would be a little suspicious.
I would probably be like, can you take them today? And also, we should get one of those counterfeit machines to look at the money in the money bag. But I mean, I'd probably just sell them. I really want them to go away. So I still have multiple long boxes to refresh. I'm just moving on to refresh the short boxes. So please, if you would like an adventure, if you would like well over 100 comics for $40, 40. This is very cheap.
I do have something against Snidely Whiplash.
Absolutely. He's an awful, awful human being, and he's a capitalist. But say that I own a business. Anyway, if Snidely Whiplash comes in, we'll consider his offer.
If Snidely Whiplash comes in, I would be extremely concerned because that dude got a green face. and I probably actually wouldn't let him in. Also, he probably wouldn't be wearing a mask. I'm pretty sure that dude is never going to work that out.
I love it. Thank you, Andrew. That's so great. Oh my god. Okay. Oh, it's getting good. So I'm gonna try to keep refilling, and we've got tons of short boxes. As you can, if you've been near our comics supplies corner, we have short boxes. I will take them. I will make them. I will fill them to the brim, and then I will sell it to you for 40 Canadian dollars plus tax.
Ooh.
Yeah. And if you just need a short box drawer shell, I'm selling them for $5. That's like less than half of what we would sell them. So they are, of course, used by us, but we take care of our things and they are good quality. And I don't punch them too much. And I've only had to move them like 3 or 4 times in that dang store because I couldn't find a good place for them for a while.
Yeah, we kept moving things around.
Yeah. But yeah, no, like seriously, even if you're not interested, tell someone about it. Tell someone.
Absolutely. And as for single issues, you're going to see the effects of our policy to not carry the vast majority of things past issue 3. Past issue 2, basically.
Ooh, yay, Simone.
Whoop whoop.
Thank you. Yes, we will prep you a box. I'll make sure it is the most mysterious.
We'll try and find a good one.
Yeah, we'll feel the vibe. Because honestly,
it's weirdly worked.
I don't know. I've moved them around so much.
We have no idea what's in them anymore.
I don't know. And I try to put a little bit of everything. So you will get a smattering of amazing comments.
Yeah. But yeah, you'll start seeing the results of our policy to not shelve things past issue 2 next week. You will see the odd issue 3, partly due to people dropping. And there might be a couple customers who are very, very dear to us, but require special attention, who we are going to have some copies of things out there for.
Yes, that's true. We do have some folks that we like to take care of, but they do not have a file. But we take care of them. We want to make sure their comic shop experience is as good as we can.
So we've actually kind of secretly been keeping track of what they buy, and have been working it that way. Kind of what we do.
Yeah, we're very sneaky, but like in positive ways, we hope.
Exactly. And yeah, for whatever reasons, the synapses don't work for them to get a file. We're more than happy to accommodate folks in need of good stories, basically. But for the majority, basically, what you see for issues 1 and 2 is going to be what you get. And the final order cutoffs after we announced that decision kind of lined up with the beginning of February. We didn't want to put a policy in place and be like, and guess what? The next few weeks, you're screwed. Have fun.
No. That's not what we do. We joke about it. That's not what we do.
No. So yeah, our store is going to start looking very different next week. When our back issue levels go down even further, you're going to see a little bit of rearranging, more graphic novels, more space for showing off graphic novels, and getting more people into stories. The more space we have to show you what you're reading, the more people tend to really gravitate towards the books. So very, very excited for that. And do we have any updates on our potential move? The potential move. We're moving.
We don't know when or where.
Yeah.
We are absolutely looking at new locations. I know that it may be a while before, generally with the real estate market, there is more popping up in the spring. January is very early. There are always places for sale or lease, but it's the selection.
Yeah, exactly.
So although we do have a couple places that could work, we realize that it is January and we're taking our time.
And our intent is to purchase.
Yes. Yes, that is the goal.
Mhm.
We are hoping this all works out, and we are feeling very positive about it.
Yeah.
But yes, we are looking to buy, which is kind of wild.
Mhm.
Um, if if you are a person that knows something in the neighborhood that we haven't seen
We
yet,
do want to stay in the neighborhood.
we absolutely do. Yeah. So our only stipulation right now is that we are in the neighborhood. Brandon can continue being the president of the business district. Very fancy. Um,
Doing that just makes things go a rumbly, like I'm experiencing an earthquake, but for one.
excuse me.
Um,
So if subscribe, yeah, Simone says, so if subscribed, you order issues for plus, but not for shelf. Absolutely. If you are subscribed to something, you are guaranteed to get
absolutely, yeah.
it. It's simply that we don't. What am I thinking? It's not that complicated. Why am I
Yeah.
thinking
So
complicated?
basically,
Yeah.
we treat subscriptions and
Mhm.
shelf very differently. Partly because they are very, very different things, and a lot of
Yeah.
stores don't really see it that way.
There we go.
So a subscription is someone's intent.
Mhm.
I'm interested in this series. I would like to read more of it. And here's what I'm going to buy.
Mhm.
That's information that we like. It's one of the reasons why we give a discount is
Mhm.
because now we're not guessing. We
Yeah.
don't have to be like, well, let's order 10 copies and see what goes.
Mhm.
We know that 8 copies are definitely spoken for, and we can kind of guess at what we might need beyond that, taking out a lot of the risk for us. So we throw a little bit of that back to you. That's why
Mhm.
if you're prepaying, you get more, because not only are you saying, yes, I intend to get this, but here's the money in advance.
Mhm.
That frees up our cash flow to do all kinds of incredible things, like, say, get a giant print run of Department of Truth.
Yeah.
Volume 1.
Maybe buy a building. I mean, this
Yeah.
could be a really cool year for us.
Mhm.
I think it will. So yeah, yeah, Alan, definitely, we will not move too far. We will still be in the neighborhood, I promise. We have a lot of thank you, Neil. We have a lot of people that can walk to us, that can bike to us. A lot of people that are a 5-minute drive away.
Mhm.
We don't want to lose that. We absolutely love you.
Yeah.
Our plan was never to move far. I've always liked the neighborhood.
Yeah.
It's simply that we literally want to have more ownership over a space.
And not be beholden to
Mhm.
people when the roof keeps leaking, and
Yeah.
the fix-it people say what they really need to do is replace all of these pipes because this is going to keep happening forever.
We've heard that for 5 years. So we're done with that. Yeah, anybody who knows how many roof leaks we've had or ceiling leaks we've had knows one of the reasons why we're moving. That is one of the reasons.
Hypothetically.
There are dozens, but the ceiling is absolutely in my top 5 list of why I'm moving. Otherwise, I love the location. I love being next to the No Frills. I mean, that's been pretty
No Frills
great.
is so good.
We've got the Shoppers, so we can go to the post office when we need. Like, it's been a really good location.
Yeah.
Neo Cafe is
And the juicery, yeah.
just on the other side of Stony Plain Road, and I love their coffee.
So good.
So I mean,
the gluten-free bakery.
Oh my god, a gluten-free bakery.
Celebrate, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a good neighborhood, folks. Like, if you haven't had a chance to really explore it, I know things are weird and wonky right now, but yeah, just get out there. Hopefully, do a bit of a walkabout when it's warmer.
Everyone's been a lot of the local businesses have been being extremely safe with their stuff too. So very, very proud of the district.
Yeah, of which you are president of.
Exactly. So I get to actually know these things. I'm not just saying like, oh yeah, they've been doing pretty good. I've got the data.
Yay,
So that's pretty cool. Just to kind of wrap up, too, because I wanted to explain Shelf as well.
Right. Sorry, I got really excited.
Oh, me too.
Because I'm super psyched for the thing. Whatever that is, I am just like jazzed. Just jazzed.
Yeah, exactly. And so, right. So like the subscription stuff is very different because it is very specific and previously spoken for, but Shelf stuff is a risk. And therefore a completely different animal. That's why we don't do discount off of Shelf product, because that's 100% of the risk on us. There's often not returnability, although some companies have been getting better, which is also why you've been seeing more singles of 1s and 2s on our shelf, because they're taking a risk with us. And so what we do what we do when they offer returnability is we help hand sell the books. We look at the PDFs, we go through, and we make sure we match it to you specifically. Try not to order too much that they're put out as well.
Absolutely.
So that all of this industry can be very healthy and helpful. So if we're all working together, if we're subscribing to things, if they're giving things returnable to us, we can kind of pass along a bit more of a well-rounded knowledge to you, and offer a better product line, and then kind of use that to better connecting you with story. Really isn't going to matter that we're not shelving issue 3s and 4s and beyond, because you're gonna know what you want. That's our intent anyways.
Absolutely. And yeah, like, and everybody is getting the final order cutoff emails from Brandon, whether it be Diamond or DC, who are a slightly different day. So we're trying to inform our customers as much as possible. So if you're not enjoying something, you know when the cutoff date is, so you can say, "Oh, no, thank you. You know, like, I see this is on the list and I'm not really digging it. Can you take it off my file?" He will immediately go, "Cool, I'm doing the FOCs right now, so I can subtract one and save both of us money."
Exactly.
Yeah, which is great.
Yeah, we should be very specific too. Final order cutoff isn't just about adding books. It's if you're not enjoying something, absolutely let us know. And if the final order cutoff day sort of reminds you, like, "Oh yeah, that book isn't," either you can do it yourself and manage, unsubscribe to a thing. If it's a special order, you can also let us know.
Yeah.
And then go from there.
Absolutely. Yeah, we just want to make sure that you have more control over your file, and we can both communicate to each other, because Manage has really created I think a more open relationship between comic stores and their customers, and I'm very happy about that.
Yeah.
And I've been Yes. I see that you switched them. I didn't. You're doing the muscle man.
I'm doing the muscle man dance, everybody.
This is something you started doing a couple weeks ago, and I don't know why, but it makes me laugh every time.
Would you believe it's from a super bizarre wrestling match?
Yes, I would. But I also prefer to think that it was just from here. Your brilliant mind.
Well, that's why I do it in real life all the time.
Muscle man dance.
Go out on the town.
Makes you laugh.
If we ever go to a bar in the future when it's safe to go to bars and it's like dance time, and you're like working the floor, just like having a good time, there's going to be me off to the side doing one of these. I'm going to find eye contact with you, then I'm just going to very seriously go.
Aw, I love my muscle man.
Yeah. A few things before we get to some romper rooms. We're always going over all the things that we're streaming, including Best of the Week that goes up on Fridays at 8 in the morning. That's been going pretty well. I've been enjoying those.
I think they're fun, and I like telling people about my past favorites because I have a lot of them. And it can be hard because there's always a constant barrage every week of new stuff.
Yeah.
It's very easy to forget something that even came out like, say, 2-3 weeks ago. And then there's stuff that I'm discovering that was published before 2015 or even before I got into comics. And I'm like, this is great. have you heard of this? And you're like, yes, I read it 10 years ago.
Please.
Please, darling.
Later on Fridays, I do a Go FOC Yourself, where I sit here, futz with computers, and show you all the cool things that are coming up on Final Order Cutoff.
Hi, Margaret.
Hey.
Hey.
And we we find that has been very helpful for a lot of people. A lot of people have added stuff. A lot of people have been like, oh, and you know what? I'm not actually enjoying that book. And perfect. That is exactly what we want.
Yeah. Never feel guilt canceling something if we're not enjoying it, because it doesn't put us out, especially if it's before FOC.
Oh, goodness.
It saves both of us money. And that's awesome.
It saves both of us money. And the thing that I find most important is people who are buying comics that they don't want tend to associate buying comics as a chore. It should never be a chore. It should be an experience where everything you're getting is something you either want to try out or are very excited to see arrive again.
Yeah.
This past week, we were going to start Yeggs and Bacon. Yeggs and Bacon is actually starting this Monday.
Yes, because we sat down to record it and realized there was a presidential inauguration last week, and there wasn't as much comic news because everyone was a little distracted.
All of the news that we would have basically talked about would be like, hey, they announced stuff for April. That's neat.
Yeah.
And we wanted it to be more of a wider range of a thing. And yeah, it wasn't sitting properly. So we decided to delay it because we want to start this off with being our awesome goofy selves instead of sitting here being like, and I guess
Speaking of April, though, we have copies of previews at the store now. So if you do that, we will have that.
New previews, baby! Woo! Anything you want to read in April, and sometimes a lot later. As always, next week we'll be doing our regular Your Local Comic show. With us delaying Yeggs and Bacon, we're also going to delay the pop culture edition of it, because the plan was to roll these out gradually and to do about 2 of them next week.
It's too much.
A lot of this is to test to see what level we can do. I know we've talked about when we're in our new space, when we do our official grand opening, we really...
Welcome to Cat Butt.
We really want to make sure what we're doing is what we're doing. We have the time for it. We have the energy for it. And this is our way of exploring what we can do and go from there. And with that, my fine friends, it is time. Max is waving back at you, Margaret.
Hello. His tail is angry. He does not like this.
It is time for... Where's my button?
Oh no,
there we go.
Robber.
It's time for the Robber Room. Baby! I'm super excited for the Romper Room. Somebody just said full moon.
Max is... that really was.
I see a full moon rising. I see cat hair everywhere.
Oh my god. I'm sorry, buddy. He's very nonplussed.
All right, everybody. Thank you all for watching. We've got the Romper Room mirror here for all of y'all.
All right.
I love how it focuses up here and it makes my face fuzzy like I'm behind a mirror.
Okay, let's see if I can scroll while he's...
I see Eric. I
down.
see Neil.
Sit down.
I see the second false Andrew.
Sorry,
I see Simone. I see Cassandra. It was a really cool scene here. I see the one true Andrew. I see Sean. I see Brandy. I see Jason.
That tickles.
I see Alan. I see Kate. And I see Margaret. Thank you all for watching. Oh yeah, CCR again, because I did that last week.
Yeah.
This time I knew it was CCR.
Oh, and if Brandy's still around, Max says hi to Sammy Davis Jr. Jr.
Yeah, I love that cat name, Sammy Davis Jr. Jr.
It's the best.
Thank you all for watching. You'll see us streaming all those other times. Feel free to pop in at any of those junctures. The 8 a.m. ones are definitely not us up and functional at 8 in the morning.
They're pre-recorded.
Those
We're
would
not morning
be
people.
very different.
We'd be like, and then by the end, when I've drunk a full cup of coffee, it would be like,
we would call them a variant edition pajama jam parties because we'd be in our pajama jams.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We're not dressed at 8.
Yeah, no.
Get out of here with that nonsense. We own a comic store. All right, everybody. Thank you for watching, and we will see you all again when we see you all again. Bye-bye.
Bye.